All right. Hey, welcome all you stock market neophytes. I mean, if you watched the big RNC last night, you had Hulk Hogan on there. That was the highlight of the whole thing. It's like, we got, he's got his Hulkamaniacs and the Trumpomaniacs, and we got the neophytes. So all the neophytes were, but we're coming on early today. We're coming on at 11, or as some people say, 12 or well, actually, we're 11 Eastern. I was going to say it's 12 o'clock Central. That's God's time, but no, we're on the business time frame here of Eastern time. And the reason is
John.
Huh?
I didn't get the memo. I had to put a suit and tie on. Man, you really look
Oh, well, this is why we have to move the thing, because I have to go do some fundraising today for another thing, which I can't mention on here because then it would be a political thing. And then I would have to put disclaimers and everything else on there.
Yeah.
But if you put the banner up. I mean, come on, what do you?
But you look great, man.
Oh, thanks. I try to look congressional. So this is my business congressional, and I have the other blue one that's my go to hell congressional. But it's funny because, as you know, I usually dress like a bricklayer. So when I wear a suit, people are like, "Oh, what's up?"
You look good in anything you wear, man.
Yeah, man. Gee, thanks. You must want to get some money out of this show. I don't know what, but we have a guest, Gary. We have a guest. I'm excited. Welcome everybody. Look, I even got my name right today on there, so nice. It's all good. It's all good. Yep. But yeah, so we got Ray Peck coming on. He's going to talk about diversification, and man, the way the market's been going up and down, if you could diversify right, you could have made some money, right?
Oh yeah.
And you always remember, buy low,
sell high.
That's right. That is our motto. So we're going to, people will get tired of us chitter chattering back and forth. Well, they probably don't, but we have this guest backstage. We're going to go ahead and bring him on. Let's see, Ray, what's happening, Ray? Let's do it.
Hello, Johnny and Gary. Nice to talk with y'all.
Yeah, Ray, welcome.
No, glad to have it on here. Let me adjust here so my head's
really.
There we go. Better like still.
The Three Stooges version of this show.
But move back so my head's not so big. There we go.
Yeah, really, you don't want to be Beetlejuice on the show. I'm actually a little Beetlejuice there. So there we go. Well, so Ray, I've met Ray Peck, and Gary, you fought the permit system here in Marion County and Greenwood and whatnot.
A few times.
Yeah, so Ray made a healthy investment with the city, and about 6 years trying to fight them on their deck. On his deck, he just built a little deck up in Geist, got it finished, and the city came out and decided he needed a permit. And 6 years later, and about a couple $100,000 later, Ray finally beat him down, which it's hard to do. And just FYI, if you're here in Indianapolis watching, we're going to have a little interview on Tuesday to talk about it on Channel 6. So we're going to meet and talk about these things and hold these city officials accountable that nobody holds accountable. Anyway, totally different show. But Ray's on here to talk about diversification today. And I'm interested in hearing about that because this market's been beating me like a red-headed stepchild. No offense to the red-headed stepchildren, but you know how it is.
I had red hair once,
Yeah, nice Scottish guy. Actually, his son plays in the bagpipe.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. We can't get any more Scottish than that today on things. So anyway, let's get to it. Ray, introduce yourself a little bit to our people and tell us what the heck you got on the stock market Neophytes show today for.
Sure. My name's Ray Peck. I'm CEO of VXP Pharma and VXP Biologics. We sell to, pharmaceutical companies, biotech companies, and biodefense and all that kind of stuff. And when I'm not fighting bureaucrats at the city.
Yeah, he wears a cape to do that.
Fighting bureaucrats is good. I mean, some people collect stamps. I'm a fighter of bureaucrats nationwide. Well, citywide anyway.
And that's why we love Ray Peck, because he's fighting the good fight. And,
yes. Well,
so, Ray, what did you get a chance to catch Trump at the RNC last night?
I loved it. Okay, I loved it. He was great. In fact, I wish I could tear off my shirt and be Hulk Hogan, but
I want to be more like Macho Man Camacho. Oh yeah, that's right, Elizabeth. We're going to.
How old is Hulk?
70 years old.
70. I saw him at the San Diego airport. I was sitting next to him on the bench. We were getting our shoes off and whatnot. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. He was very friendly, but I wouldn't want to be famous. He was. By the time he got from the security to the gate, I bet you no less than 5 different groups of people had him smiling, an arm around him, and all that kind of stuff. Man, he was great, but that would be irritating.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I think people don't really think about
Did
that.
he just get a
dynamic.
new wife? He just got a new wife.
Yeah, he got a kid too, I think, doesn't he? He's got like a
Oh, really?
young, I don't know.
70.
Yeah, he's
a wife about half his age. She looks nice.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's how
But
you
anyway,
do
back
it.
to Ray. I'm sorry.
The wife, no, the
That's
wife's probably thrilled too. Like they say, you can marry more money in 5 minutes and you can make it a lifetime. Now that's a good investment strategy. Got to get her on there.
That's
How do you get rich?
diversification.
Marry Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's diversification.
Job well done.
If I can see it. But as you can see, Gary, we have entertainment purposes on this show. So we got to be entertaining. We got to talk about, numbers. They're so boring unless they're going into your account. Then they are exciting. So Ray, give us a little story about this diversification thing.
Diversification. Whenever I mention diversification to people, they always say the same thing, kind of like, oh yeah, you're not kind of spreading your money around and it's easy and all. Like, no. It's much more important than that. It's actually a strategy. It's a formal, a formula, basically. The way I look at it and the way it was explained to me is diversification is the most boring yet predictable way to get kind of rich. How's that for vanilla?
Boring
like
on this
it.
show?
I know it's boring. What it is I equate it to surfing. I lived in Los Angeles for about 3 years, and I'd go out and I'd surf once in a while. And I'd be out there paddling, you waiting out there in the waves. And surfing, all you ever see is on TV is people coming in toward shore. But it's a pain to swim back out there, so you want to be careful to get the good waves. Otherwise, you're going to be swimming your board back out. And I'd sit out there and I'd look over and I'd see next to me a big wave. So I'd get over there and I'd paddle over there and I'm waiting. And then the big wave is over there and I'm paddling back and forth. And you're always paddling to where the best waves were. And you're never getting the good waves because you're always going to where the waves had already hit the beach. That's basically what diversification is. Diversification is not swimming to the waves. What you're doing is as Warren Buffett once said, Warren Buffett said, there's no free lunch in this world. He says, except of course for diversification. Diversification is spreading your money around all of the sectors. And I'm talking completely sectors that are, completely unrelated to each other. International, real estate investment trusts, small cap, large cap, emerging, all those type of things, because you'll always look at some that are going up and some that are going down. And again, at the end of the year, you find that you were in fact that surfer, swimming after each of the waves. Like, hey, last year real estate did great. Oh, next year small cap did great, or international. This way you buy all your money, you spend all your money over multiple sectors. And at the end of the year, I look at what did well. If international did great this year, great. I sell my international, the ones that did well, and I buy the stuff that didn't do well. So the way diversification works, you keep balancing your portfolio. You go into pretty much as many segments as you want. I'm probably in about 8 segments: large cap, small cap, real estate investment trust, international, tech, consumer products, that type of stuff, blue chips. You have to balance it. Whatever ones do well this year, I sell and I buy the stuff that didn't do well next year. And again, it's boring. You're not looking for fancy stocks. You're not talking about individual stocks. My friend,
you buy the stuff that didn't do well last year? Yes,
you buy the stuff, the segments. And I do that.
You analyze as to why it didn't do well.
Again, if there's like a war or something, you don't want to invest in a place where they're being bombed or something. But right. You hate to say it that way. But what I do is mutual funds, and it's boring. Like I said, hideously boring. A lot of what do you call it? Index funds. A lot of index funds, and places like Vanguard or oh my gosh, any of them out there have various diversified portfolios that are in different areas. You can even just buy an index fund that is international. So I'll buy that, and I'll buy large cap. You can do it very generically. You can buy them. And again, one goes up and the next one, again, it's back to the wave thing.
Yep. So hold on, Ray, just for 1 second, because this is a neophyte show. Let's tell our viewers what a small cap is, a large cap, and an index fund. Let's go with what's the difference between a small capital and a large capital, just for the folks that, hey, maybe watching this for the first time and thinking, this investing talk, I don't get it. So
well, if you're investing in large companies, if you want to invest in like the Apple, not even called Apple Computer anymore, just Apple or GM or Ford, something like that. Those companies are going to be big. But if you're getting
in terms of their capital being over 100 million, what's the cutoff between small?
I'd have to find out. I'd have to look into that to find out. I don't know where the actual capital is. I think it is about 50 to 100 million for small cap.
So small capital will be what their revenue is or what their actual investment is, and then large cap is like the IBMs that have billions in their capital.
Yes.
Generally those stocks trade higher, right? I mean, they're worth more. They're worth more, right? So,
but they still go up and down like the rest of them. They still have.
So index funds. What's an index fund?
Index fund a lot of times are unmanaged funds. Index funds are just like the S&P index fund, Vanguard Index 500. It's a completely unmanaged fund. It mirrors the S&P 500. So the investments go in based upon what's in the S&P, and it just balances it based upon exactly what's in the S&P.
So if it goes up, you go up, right?
If it goes up, you go up.
And I would say these mutual funds that you speak of are a lot of the investment groups, like the Hilliard Lyons and these Merrill Lynch and those folks. They will bundle. Say you get a customer, well, we're going to put you in this mutual fund, and it's going to have a bunch of caps in it. It could be a small cap mutual fund. It's all those companies that are under 100 million, or it could be a large cap thing. So there's a lot of moving parts that I think some people get scared because of that. So what you're saying is this is a good thing, you can do this on your own as you have without paying a fee to say these Merrill Lynches or these brokerage firms that pretty much take your money, invest just like what you're talking about, and then take out a cut. So
do these funds you're talking about have a symbol? I mean, can I find it on the chart here or no?
Yes. Well, what you do for diversification is I go to you're not going to actually see a diversified fund out there, but what you're going to be able to see if you're looking at something like Vanguard, if you search their portfolio and find just look up the word diverse or diversification, and it's not like DEI diverse, it's diversified, in a segment. It'll pull up all of the different funds they offer that are diversified. Some of them are going to be diversified in areas like, again, the small cap or large cap, but some of them are diversified for the entire market. And that's what I look like. That's what my investment portfolio looks like. Again, it's boring. You spread your money over the entire industry and, the world, basically. You're buying some international stocks because America might not do well one year. Our market might be down, but China or India might be up. And that helps balance you. And basically, diversification is a risk management strategy that helps you avoid the ups and downs and still get a great return. I mean, my wife and I have been married 21 years, and we have been using this diversification strategy the whole time. And we have averaged, and this is average for our whole portfolio, about 10.6%. And that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of people would say that. Then we want to see. I want to see your portfolio. And how you've done on that. That's what these people that want you to invest with their company.
Yes,
that's what they'll say. Oh, yeah. I want to see it. But Ray, don't show it to them because then they'll try to copy it, and that it up.
Well, that's the thing is it's so boring because what I do is I'm mostly Vanguard. I like Vanguard because they're low cost. They're low cost. You put your money in, and I've been with them for about 40 years. I mean, literally when I was a kid, right out of college. I mean, I got out of college and I was kicking butt. I was making $18,000 a year in Los Angeles. I had an apartment. I could basically touch all four walls by doing this. And I think I divided that by like 2,080 to find out what my hourly rate was. And that was like $9 an hour I was making. I thought I was rich.
That apartment's probably worth $1 million today, though.
Oh, it's worth a ton because a company had a lot. I worked for Dana Corporation, And the company had a lot of matching, a lot of, good stuff to, you put your money in. And as I tell my kids, put your money in now. You guys have probably covered the rule of 72s at some point, right?
Oh, heck no. We haven't covered. We just scratched the surface. We're just trying to be entertaining.
Yeah, we passed that rule. We went on to 74 on that.
Yeah.
74 is even better. It's even better.
We might be up to 220, 221. I don't know what Beetlejuice said, but
I tell my kids the rule of 72 is a fun one because it's easy to understand. You divide 72 into your interest rate, and that's how long it takes to double your money. So if you're making 10% return, 72 divided by 10, that's about 7.2 years to double your money. So I tell my kids, okay, if I'm getting a 10% return, 72 divided by 10, 7.2, by the time, you start out at 20, you start out, let's say $10,000 when you're 22, right out of college. By the time you're 30, your $10,000 is double. That 10 is now 20. But then if every 8 years, added in, we're talking that 10 becomes 20, becomes 40, becomes 80. And pretty soon you've got your own island. Hopefully far away from Epstein's island. Though.
Until 2008 hits.
Yeah.
Or 9/11. 9/11 took us back, or a savings and loan scandal, or, whatever. You have to weather those storms. But it generally comes back.
It does. It comes back, and with diversification, it cuts off those wild swings of, putting all your eggs in one basket. And that's the thing is what I find is with diversification, when there's a bad year, we don't swerve and hit the wall quite as hard, it's because, it goes down a little bit, but still, even with 2008, we're still at 10.6% return. And, I've got I will say this, diversification is kind of a lazy man's investing. And it's, my friend Sherry, she lives and breathes, markets and stocks, and she's always looking at stuff, and she's done well for herself, but I don't want to do that. I would rather jump in front of a bus than sit and read profit and loss statements. But, but still I have to abide by my grandfather's advice. My grandfather said, very wise advice. He said, it is far better to be rich and healthy than poor and sick.
Yeah, I can hear him because your grandfather is Scottish descent. He says, "Oh, laddie, it's better to be rich and healthy than poor and not healthy."
I would say that was exactly
that's
what
a very good
Scottish
accent
food.
I got going there. So yeah,
my son thinks McDonald's is Scottish food, but I guess that's a different story.
Well, so are French fries. So they're French, right? That's what they say. So
indeed,
this is the Magic 8 Ball. That is that's a way to predict things. And we do that as for entertainment purposes here. And, one of the things that, since we have a guest, we were going to table our 8 ball picks and Gary's picks and all that. But man, I got to tell you, Gary was on fire with his picks. He made that Magic 8 Ball look like a Magic 3 ball. I mean, he beat that thing like it was. He drained the water out of the Magic 8 Ball. He did so good against it this week. So I feel remiss in skipping a week, but these are what folks that want to get in the market. I mean, you hear that, and I hear horror stories of somebody. I bought these stocks that went straight down, then I sold them and I got out. Okay, well, I know that the market will take your money. That's their goal, right, Gary? We're trying to figure out who they are.
Take all your money,
but they will take your money. But what you're telling people, Ray, here is that, hey, there is a glimmer of hope if you diversify, because then they can't get you that quick.
Yes, I don't want to be that guy sitting out there on the surfboard trying to chase after where the waves already hit, because I have no illusions that I'm going to get information before other people are. By the time I hear something great about a stock, everybody else already knows about it, because I'm just Ray in Indianapolis. I go with the mutuals, and I go with different sectors, and I just balance my portfolio. And, if it does well, I sell some and buy the stuff that doesn't do well. And again, not the stocks, but the markets. You have to get very separate, non-correlated markets, meaning, if America does well, China isn't necessarily going to do well, and India or whatever for international, but the same with the different markets. If real estate investment trust, based on property and whatnot, if it's doing well, that doesn't mean, the stock market is doing,
So let's talk about currency, because we do have, we've had China and Russia try to, devalue the dollar for a long time. And now we have BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, whatever you see, Chile. And now there's some more people adding on to this thing. And then you have Bitcoin. What's your take on that? I know this is part of the diversification. Is this a time when you say, hey, I'm going to sell short on this dollar? This dollar is getting ready to get clipped.
It would be bad if we lost U.S. as a world's reserve currency. But again, we can only spend so much money we printed without backing. We can only do that for so long before the other countries are like, enough. And again, not everybody likes us out there.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go to a meeting today about Israel, about a group that wants me to send me to Israel to see what's actually happening there. And I would love to go to the Holy Land and, definitely have somebody else pay. It's like Trump's wall. We worked on a wall today, this week down at St. Rocket Catholic Church. They're fortifying their assets, their schools and whatnot, because of this crazy world we live in. So we built a wall. And basically, politician Jefferson Shreve here, who's running for the Congress, paid for it. Not Mexico, not anybody else, not Donald Trump, but it was him. He paid for it. So we built a wall, and somebody else paid for it, and it's there. So
in Israel, if you go to Israel, they have a wall. Oh my gosh, they're small. Israel's the size of New Jersey.
Yeah,
that's run it.
Yeah, it is unbelievable how small it is. And I think what people say when they go visit the motherland, that they say, man, it's just. Jesus walked. He could just walk from the Sermon of the Mount to the temple to all this. And we've had these fightings over the years. Basically the Muslims took over Jerusalem in the 800s and ran amok and basically built the dome on top of the Wailing Wall. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. But it'd be great to see those things. I met with a rabbi this week who is Orthodox, which basically believes in the 5 books of the Torah, that Jesus is a prophet, not the Messiah, those type of things. And there's all different, there's progressive Jews, there's Orthodox Jews. It's like trying to figure out all these things in the market on what people think. It's why can't we just do something simple? I think the best thing I think Jesus ever said, other than dying for our stuff, and I think we're all 3 on the same page here, is that, love God and love your neighbor. Yeah. And if we do that, then who's going to be left to be bad?
Do unto others, then run. No.
Yeah. No. Well, so anyway, no. I think that, our political system or the stock market, it is a great, great system until you add people. Yeah. And then we find a way to screw it up. I mean, every situation.
The funny thing about the stock market is when I talk to my liberal friends, my far left friends, they say, we have to share the means of production need to be shared with the rich and the poor alike. I'm like, what do you think the stock market is? What do you think the stock market is? You can buy stock. I can buy any publicly traded company in the world. I can go buy a piece of right now and own the means of production. I said, how do I own the means of production like North Korea? Who owns that? The government. How does a person own a piece of a factory? Do I go and buy some bricks or whatever? It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way.
The stock market.
And we've talked about the Congress, about these people in power. And, this show, if I happen to win the office that I'm running for, I'm getting out of the market. I'm not going to be, in fact, we talk about, there's actually a program that you could follow the Pelosi's or follow this politician who've made, they made a fortune off of NVIDIA because they knew that they were going to get the contract. And so let's just buy these couple stocks. I hope they go up, but all the time they know they're going to go up. I mean, if you know that IBM is going to get a military contract, they're going to get a $4 billion military contract. I think they're probably going to fail. I don't want to buy that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's to me, you get paid. The position I'm running for is $174,000 a year plus expenses. So it's about $200K. If you can't scrape out 11 on $200K, maybe need to think about something else. And, and it's basically the legislature is a part-time job. You're only there in Washington from Tuesday to Friday a lot. and you're supposed to be back working in your neighborhoods, but I don't know the last time I've seen my congressman in the neighborhood. I think I saw a ghost before I saw him. But anyway, and I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi's out, getting fish at the fish market over there where her little district is, because no, they don't do that. They just sit there and they do their thing. But anyway, I digressed from our show. We were talking about diversification, and there's some people can diversify better than others if they know.
Some do.
If they have the crystal ball and they have the stuff, the things, the thing.
Well, the thing, it's diversification works. It has made my wife and I a lot of money over the years, and it's boring. It's not. I'm not looking at individual stocks. It's not exciting. It's not like, hey, I got a stock tip. We don't look for stock tips. We look for different funds. We do a lot of index funds. We do different areas, and the way to diversify is to go to a company like Merrill Lynch or whatever. I'm not a big Merrill Lynch fan, but again, Vanguard, low cost. And go to their various index funds in different markets. If you're doing the real estate investment trust, large cap, small cap, do those, put it in there and just leave it there. Let it be managed. They have professional managers that are buying stocks in each of those sectors.
Right.
And when they go up, you stick with them or sell some and
sell high, buy low,
buy
low, sell
yes.
high. I mean, it Ray, your program fits right into our stock market neophytes, mantra.
Well,
buy low, sell high.
You do, because what I've always heard, the definition of a long-term investment is a short-term investment that didn't go well.
Yeah, I got Boyle right now. I'm waiting for that long, but we know it's coming back. Yeah, Gary. So Ray,
I told him to wait till it got in the tens.
Yeah, I didn't listen. So Ray, we're gonna let you go, and I'll see you Tuesday for our big interview to burn up this city of Indianapolis in their ineptness. So
it is not hard to burn them up for ineptness. It is not. You don't have to look that far to find out a company that when I went down to the city of Indianapolis and they said, okay, you have your permit and you have to throw your permit application into one of 3 laundry baskets. Like laundry baskets. We're one of the top 100 cities in the country. And we're basing our zoning stuff on laundry baskets.
Yeah.
And it's just,
if you ask Amy Wonder about it, do you need a permit? It depends. And Ray, I'll share the story about our little wall at St. Rock with you and what she said. You're gonna.
It worked. It was funny.
It is funny. It's funny. We I don't know who did that video, but boy, it was funny. I think we'll resurrect it again.
I don't know who did it either. I have no idea. That's my story. I'm sticking with it.
Ray, could there be a time, with our neophytes that maybe would you be able to get a little more in depth of with a dialogue of how the neophytes would invest their money?
Sure. I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it. Just, right. There's what I tell my kids, you can get rich without being rich along the way. And that's what they don't realize it's the most important thing. And I've got all my kids to invest. Each of my kids has 2 investment accounts, a Roth IRA and just a regular investment account. We put the money in, we have meetings every 6 months, but my kids, it might be around the dinner table and I show them, you're not rich now, but you could be rich later. And you don't necessarily be.
That's what I got. My daughter, she's got $100K invested in, and it's like, but I think I like this diversification thing. So, and I would love for her.
Gary believes in that. My son, he's right with you, Ray.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of millennials that are getting older, and I have 4 millennials, and Gary, you have a crap load of them too.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
They're starting to realize that, hey, this, saving whales and hugging trees, it don't pay very well.
It does not pay very well.
I got kids and I got a mortgage and I got a car payment. What do we got to do here? So, that's one thing that I would say that I regret was when I invested in real estate and I diversified and not market stuff, but I just had a small, 401k type of deal. But I want to talk more about Roth and 401k and all those things, what you need to do. And Ray, what's going on with that. So we'll schedule you back for another time where we can talk about this, and maybe we even do a special where, hey, we'll get people on, in the comments. We have comments that can ask questions, and we got a Troy Chester. He's asking things. I should be paying. Sorry, Troy. I got so involved. I'm not used to having actually viewers on here with comments, but we need to pay attention more to that now, Gary. It seems like we got more than Spiro as our viewer.
Where is Spiro? Is he on there?
No, I think he's got a meeting. He actually has a meeting today.
Okay.
If he is on there, he's been so busy being my campaign manager. That guy is working his tail off, and
good.
We're just doing that. We're struggling this thing, and Ray knows the long hill battle we have here on things. So, hey, we got some viewers. Here's another one. Beyond. Oh well, this guy, he's got a good show. Let's go, Brandon. He's got a good show. He's Beyond Formal. It's on YouTube and all that, and Troy. So yeah. We're building an audience here. What's up with that? It's sort of like diversification.
It's perfect. It's like investing. You start small and you get bigger. That's what better way to grow an investment show by seeing slow growth. Eventually you'll take over the world. Yes, you will be John the Grand Poobah.
Yeah, please. I don't want to. I tell people you want to be famous enough so one or two people know you in the restaurant, not everybody.
I can't imagine. Like I mentioned with Hulk Hogan earlier, I can't imagine why anyone would want fame.
Actually, it's funny. I get people come out to me saying, "You're the mouthwash guy." Nobody on the Neophytes guy yet, but I'm waiting for that day. But yeah, it's interesting.
That day will come.
We'll watch. But I love people. I don't know how much. I'm going to find out if that's the case, but I love people. I have time for them. That's what I do. So if you're not one of those kind of people, don't get famous and don't get into politics and don't be in charge of stuff, because people will ask you all sorts of stuff. My cat's got a hangnail. How do I fix that? Okay, well, let's see. What's your cat's name? So anyway. So Ray, thanks a lot. Me and Gary are going to wind this thing up because I got about 15 minutes and we'll do that, but
thanks,
great.
Ray, and consider coming back. And the neophytes out there could be thinking it can't be that easy. They know people in the market that's lost.
No, I'd be happy to do it. I can get it. I just did the top level at this point. I'd be happy to drill down a little bit and get more into the structure of it, because I can say this: it works. It works. A guy named Mike.
We can start our own fund. You got the S&P, but now you got the Ray and Peck.
I will do it. I will be happy to do it.
Peck's away at
it. It's amazing because it just, again, the rule of 72 is back into that doubling. How many doubles can you get? And you guys, I'll leave you with this stuff. You guys have probably all heard the penny thing. If I gave you a penny today, 2 pennies tomorrow, 4 pennies, and I've done that in front of groups before. I'll say, how long does it take to be a millionaire? And they're like, I don't know, 100 years, 1,000 years, 28 days. 28 days, you go from 1 penny. If you double it every day, within 28 days, you become a millionaire. That's the whole strategy of this rule of 72.
There's also a rule of 7. You double something 7 times, it gets big quick. So the key is buying low and selling high.
So indeed.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
We'll have you back on, and I'll see you Tuesday.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right. Well, let's get to it, because I'm going to run out of time. I knew that this would be.
Man, he's interesting. We need to.
Oh yeah, and I met him on the. Let's see where we got here. We got to add this. Okay, we added that, and I think our viewers liked it when we were down here, so they could see the stage. So Gary, I'm going to give you your 15 minutes of fame here on this thing, because you kicked some ass, especially on my thing. So because of the ones I picked, you just destroyed the 8-ball on it. Well, let's start with Agenus. Put Agenus up there. That is the one that just really had a problem.
Yeah, man. What did you say on that?
Make that one a little bit bigger and put it up on top, or squish that other one, or
you can't see it very well.
Well, it's down here at the bottom. So yeah. There you go. A little bit more, because that one you got is that gold up there? What's that on top? Or is that?
It's just
market
NASDAQ 100.
Okay, yeah. Look at it tanking. So anyway, look at that. look at that line right there. Where was it? It was like 15. Well, actually, it's down, but do a 5 day. I mean,
here's a
10-day
chart.
yeah. Look at that. That's like that stock market guy's jumping out the window. So something happened Wednesday night, I think. Wednesday night, and I wake up and I see that I have one stock of this because I had a bunch of it and it went down to 5 and it went back up. Then I made a little money. I sold it because I'm like, this is crazy. So it's been up between 15 and 18 for a while. And then something happened and it dropped $10 in one day. And now it's back down. It was down to, look at, well, this is a long chart, but yeah, see, it was at 478.
That's a 180-day chart.
Yeah. And then now it's sort of back. So I don't know what happened to them, but some kind of news came out. And IBM was cranking along too. So basically, let's go over that. Agents was at $15. 8 Ball set up, you said down, and I set up just to be contrary. And it looked like you got that one. Let's see. Energy. Oh, you're going to be back. Pull up energy. ET. Phone on ET. Energy transfer. It may be back down today, but where's it at?
It is at 16.37.
Okay, so you missed that one. I set up, 8 Ball set up, but it was at 1624.
Yeah.
That one moves a lot. IBM, you set up, and it's still up.
Nice.
It's up to, is it still at 180? Oh, at 182.81.
182.81.
No, it's just barely up. It was up to 188, but they came out and said that they're on the earnings that it's going to be offset by acquisitions or something like that, and they've been selling it off. But it's way back from what it was. But they have earnings coming out on the 27th, and I think they're going to be $2 and something. They're going to be up like 40 or 50 cents per share. So you know how they load it up pre-earnings, they'll drive it up. And then, but now this little news, they drive it back down. So you can almost set your watch by how they do this. When earnings are going to come out and then you find out they're going to be good, they'll run it up, 5 days before, and then they'll drop it off.
I got Boyle up now.
What's Boyle?
Boyle is at 1028. It made it down to 963.
Oh, I thought I saw it less than that. I'm like, trust me, I've seen it because I bought it at 12. No, actually, I bought some at 11 and some change. Right. But you know what this is? It'll. So you set down and we both set up. So you did a great on that one. Pull up BRZE.
Okay, we're at 39.54.
So it's down. 8 Ball said down. You said 39.84?
Yeah.
Oh, it's up.
39.50.
Oh, it's pretty much the same. It was 39.67. 8 Ball said down, which is right, but we both said up. So that one's up. Let's go over yours real quick. Riot, RIOT.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. This has been a crazy week. I mean, it really has.
Set up. It's at 11:32.
Yep, that's up because it was at 960, 968.
And then we got CLSK.
Yep.
It is trading at 17.11. It was 1580 last Friday.
You called that one 8 Ball wrong, me wrong. So
MU, the next one.
Yeah, MU too, buddy.
Last Friday it was 132.70. I said down. It is at 114.57.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Man, you called that one. Man, I'm telling you, okay, NVIDIA.
And then NVIDIA.
I'm going to think 125.
NVIDIA, I did say, boy, this got me. This. I set up. It was trading at 130.18.
Is that what it is now?
I'm off 12 points here. It's trading at 118.
Ooh.
97. Yeah.
I said down on that one, but I said one up on the other one. So how about Dell? Dell's your last one?
Dell's the last one. So that kind of helps me. Dell last week was trading at 140.05. I said down. It's at 125.83.
Yeah, I was actually had it at 134.05. You said what is it at now?
It's trading at 125.88.
Yep, we said down, and the 8 ball was wrong. So that'll be that. We'll let these ride another week and see where they're at on that. Let's. I was going to say I wanted to put down on the breeze. I didn't write those down. But let's do Spiros real quick. I don't know if he's watching or not. We got the BITX.
That's BITX.
Yep.
He said,
we all set up. We all set up.
It's 29.58 last week. It's 37.02 right now.
Dang, that would have been a buy. And then we got agents, and you said down, and Gary they set up too. And that thing's what's agent at?
6.43.
I don't know why he did the same one. And then Meta TV.
METV. What he is 1361 last week. It's 1312 now.
Yeah, that's pretty much a it's down a little bit, not a wash. Then we had let's do gold and Donald. Let's do Donald J. Trump. Did you like the speech last night? I fell asleep.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. It to me it was ordinary. I love the guy. I mean, the critics. I'm not. He's got a different personality, but you have to be a certain person
to talk about famous.
I think the majority of people don't like confident people. But if you're an all-star pitcher or athlete or something, and you have enough guts to say you're pretty good, you're just kind of disliked. So I just think that's who he is. He's a good guy. He's confident in what he knows, confident in what he does, and he's confident he's going to help us. So
let's let him.
Huh?
I said, let's let him. Yeah. I mean, you think that he'd been president one. I mean, you think people get better at doing their stuff. I think he's learned a lot. I mean, think about it. They don't teach a president in school. They don't teach even president in politics. You got to sort of muddle your way through this and hope your experience and integrity and all that stuff goes with it. I'm sort of finding that out with what I've got going on. I mean, I was a local politician and now I'm a friggin' federal. It's a different game. I'm sitting in briefings of things and but I still have the same, problem solving abilities, the same integrity. My campaign is not funded by these outside interests. I wish it was because I'd have some money, but it's so I get it. It's like this show. We don't have to answer to any sponsors because we don't have any. We can do what we like on here, and we're going to do what we think's right for our viewers, and we're not going to be giving them false information or stuff that's going to hurt them. We're hoping to be entertaining, and then bring some knowledge to what's up. So
right, and the stock market. I mean, to go along with that, if anybody's listening, you have to know what you're doing. Like I tell my kids, if you're going to buy a stock or you're going to make a trade, you better 100% know why you're doing it. You're not just doing it for fun. When I trade daily here, I know why I'm buying at a certain level or selling short at a certain level. It's not to see what happens. Yeah,
your picks indicate that on this. So, you had a good week. Hopefully, you followed your advice.
I did, yes.
So it worked out well. Well, Troy has a good point on here. That let's see, algorithms. That algorithm trading is interesting. I mean, I think that's when IBM had their earnings last week and it dropped 20 points right before my very eyes. I just think that everybody had their thing set for if it goes this low, sell it. Yeah. So I may want to put that on for these, the 27th is when that comes out from IBM. But, I think the cat's out of the bag on what they're going to have. But, this little side tidbits are a problem.
For the people out there, neophytes or whatever, I mean, I need to explain. I'm just a day trader. I don't even halfway know what these companies do, but I watch
the trend.
Probably 15 stocks, and he's talking about algorithms. And man, that whole algorithm is, they have all the money in the world behind that algorithm to try to, I always look at it like a snake. It's trying to flip you off. You're on a snake's back. And this thing is trying to flip you off.
Yeah, to get your money and get you out.
As soon as you make a trade, it wants to go against you, and you better be positioned properly, or you can lose a lot of money, or you can make a lot of money if you're positioned properly. So
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So let's do this, Gary. I'm going to do the ending. We're going to let you.
Okay.
I'm going to put up there for you, and then I'm going to go. So because I got to roll. I got at 12 o'clock, and I got like 15 minutes to get there. But I'm going to let you ride the bull this week, and then we'll go with the finish, and we'll see everybody next week. Hopefully at noon. I'll try not to double schedule something, but if you got an investor on the hook, you got to go see it. You got to go talk to them.
Good luck today, John.
Congratulations on beating the 8-ball to death, and hopefully I can get some water back in it because you beat it so bad it dried up. And we'll see everybody next week. We'll go over some picks again. We'll just let these roll and see. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe I'll get a ride the bull next week. You just never know. Yeah. Probably not. But anyway, here you go, Gary. Here's your champion.
You are the winner this week. Way to ride the bull. So you're new to the market and you're watching these market shows and talking to some of your friends, and maybe you listen to one of them and they say, hey, I got this great stock tip for you. Just get on board here and we'll ride this thing together. I'll show you how to do it, and I'll teach you a few things. And you're like, okay, come on and get on. And then you get on there, and then all of a sudden the market starts going. You invest this money, the market starts going, and it's going, and you're like, I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit shaky about this deal here, and then the market starts going up and down, and you're like, hey, and then all of a sudden the earnings come out, and it's like, oh, your friend says, oh well, sorry about that. I really thought it was a good deal. I just I'll talk to you later. And then you're sitting there, you're holding on to the horns.